Hey everybody out there, this is Adam Niffen at Smith Welding and Restoration. Oh goodness, it's Sunday afternoon now. The Omega has gone home. Got a lovely letter from the owner, Jeff Burns. We've got all sorts of interesting stuff going on. I just kind of want to make a short video, not of me working or anything like that, just kind of a meet and greet type of situation. VW Darren, he left some amazing comments I'm grateful for. Greg Porter as well. Greg Porter even hollered at me in one of his last videos, and you know, I'm really grateful for all you guys. I've been watching you guys for a little while now, and you know, I found all you folks through Pete, and then I found, you know, James Freddy's, Jeff LeClaire. He's even hollered at me on one of his older videos. I don't remember exactly when. It's been a couple months, but you know, I kind of wanted to. It looked like everybody out there right now is kind of running a little breezer on, you know, kind of what's going on, how I got where I'm at, everything else, and I figured not to justify or anything else, just to kind of introduce who I am and how this happened. Back in, gosh, I'd have to actually ask family specifically when, but 60s, maybe back as far as the 50s. My great-grandfather, great-uncle, Tom and Orville Smith, had Smith & Sons Welding. About, as the crow flies, about a mile north of exactly where I'm sitting. My name is Adam Niffen. Tom and Orville Smith are from my mother's side. When I opened up this shop, when I decided this is what I was going to do, I shut my service station I had down. I let a series of bad events and poor decisions essentially ruin the name I was building in that company. I was going through a piss poor year at that point. 2009, 2010 were pretty awful. And I shut down that shop and moved on. Actually, I abandoned a lot of stuff I had assembled equipment-wise at that point at the shop. I couldn't move it with me. I couldn't take it with me. And I decided I'm going to restore cars. That's what I'm doing. That's all I want to do at this point. And I do some collision work and things like that, as you've seen. But I have a passion for the older cars. It's a whole different world. I don't have shiny blue oval certificates or blue circle certificates, whatever the hell, to put on the wall, ASEs. I don't. A lot of my knowledge, up to finding all you folks on YouTube sharing and commenting and showing, was at the pub buying the old timers rounds and talking to them. Well, how's this carburetor work? How's this thing work? How's that work? How does this? And I would find a focus of attention, and there are a couple of older mechanics that I would basically go pester. I'd buy them beers to ease the wound of my jabbering jaws, and they would chat with me. They would lend me insights into what I wanted to do. And you know, what I work on, I can't go to school for. Around here, at least, I haven't found anything in a restoration type of program. They supposedly are out there. I don't trust a lot of the big schools. Once upon a time I was a carpenter. I was a carpenter for many years, and I hobbied with cars on a mechanical basis more than anything. And turned that into, you know, a service shop when I got away from construction, and that led me towards seeing body work and collision and restoration work, and that's where I really enjoyed putting my hands to work. Yeah, I mean, long story short, really, or I guess longer, Smith Welding and Restoration was birthed from my desire to kind of honor my family that came before me, that came up ahead of me. I was too young to really learn the trade. from my great uncle, great grandfather. They were too old to teach it. But that's kind of my homage to my lineage, my heritage. And that's how that came around. That's why it's Smith Welding Restoration. That's why my name is Adam Niffen. Yeah, it's spelled funny. You just drop the K. That's about how it works. But, you know, and I also wanted to holler at Jeff, and, you know, he's got this hater guy that's pestering him, and, you know, the old statement of the empty can rattling the most. The people that are the biggest thorn in your side, they're going to be hollering at you the most and naysaying you the worst. They ain't got a fucking thing to offer, you or anyone else. They're going to bitch about the problem but never offer a solution. So I guess, you know, Jeff, man, keep your chin up. Who gives a shit what this asshole thinks? You got a lot of people out there following you, a lot of people out there watching you. I just saw the other day you were celebrating your millionth view, and that is just profound. I think that's amazing and wonderful, and I'm really happy for you. I think that should stand testimony enough that one shithead need not apply. I do what I do because it's how I want to spend the rest of my days. This is what I'm going to make my namesake with. It's too fulfilling not to. It's very personal. You get to know people very, very closely on levels you wouldn't otherwise. Just talking with them, even being, you know, good friends with them for years. You know, you get into a car project, you really get to know a little more about a person. You know, there's a gentleman, Mike Turk, actually stopped by Friday, and, you know, and I'm not the best guy out there doing this. I'm passionate. I love what I do, but that's the biggest thing I've got going for me is I'm passionate. I love what I do. And he stops by and hey, are you Adam? Yes, sir, I am. How can I help you? Well, I'm Mike. I'm a fan. I've watched your stuff on YouTube. I've seen you on Facebook. And really, it blew me away. Tomorrow I'm going to go check out, he's got a 66 Le Mans I want to check out. See what, if anything, we can do to help him. It sounds like a really big project, and I'm hopeful that, you know, the work-wise, whatever, you know, I can build a frame rack to straighten out the tub and do floors and stuff like that, and brace it up to throw it on a rotisserie if needs be, whatever I got to do. It's not just a car, but when it comes down to nuts, bolts, and sheet metal, it's just a car. We can do anything you want. Metal's so forgiving. You cut out the rot and put in new metal. But you know, most over anything today, I just kind of wanted to holler at everybody and give my appreciation for the support, for the showing of kindness. I'm really blown away. I am the noob out here doing this. I've mentioned a few times on videos that you really didn't want to know my story, how I got here or anything else. Well, it's almost embarrassing to say, really, to explain, because I've got guys out there that I'm looking at going, wow, man, look at the work you're doing. Or I've seen some guys out there, it's like, wow, how did you, what went wrong? And they had been, you know, on both circumstances, they've been doing it for, you know, 8, 10, 15, 20 years and more. And, you know, I was told again and again and again over the years that, oh, no, you ain't got the patience to do body work, you couldn't restore, you don't know what you're doing, you know, and anybody that goes out there and tries to lie about it and go, no, I don't have self-image issues. Most everybody does. I know I do to an extent. I'm damn good at what I do, and I'm learning. I've got so much to learn. I do the best I can with what I've got at the time. Knowledge, skills, and tools base, and those are doing nothing more than growing every day. One of my best friends for almost 20 years. It's all you can clamor on about. Oh, no, you couldn't do that. You can't do that. Well, I'm one of those guys, you tell me can't, all I hear is, fuck you, I double dare you. So I do it. My story is simple. Right out of high school, you know, I'm 35 now. Right out of high school, I started framing houses. I was a carpenter. I framed houses for almost a decade. One of the hardest sons of bitches that I've ever known. Hardest worker, just hard asshole, and still pretty beloved to me to this day, almost like a big brother, a fellow named Joe Hankey. And he showed me that our self-imposed ceilings are worthless and trash. Go out and push it up. Every project I take on gets harder and harder, more technical, more precise, more difficult in, you know, structural and cosmetic ways. And I'm always pushing to raise that ceiling, my personal ceiling, and I won't stop till, I don't know, they carry me out feet first probably. But I was a carpenter a good 15 years. I spent most of my career as a carpenter self-employed. Some years were good, some years were bad, some years were horrible. '08, everything crashed. And you know, you think carpenter, oh, what do you do, sheetrock, or what do you do, paint, or well, I spent 8 years framing houses, everything from garages, much like what my shop is, to $1.2 million homes. Now, some of you folks out east or out west, I'm like, oh, 1.2 million, that's not that much, that's not big a deal, but you figure around here, your average home is $150,000 to $200,000, and those are 2,400 square foot, very nice homes, 3-4 bedroom. I'm in Iowa, the cost of living's pretty reasonable. We're building some damn nice houses. And I got away from framing. I could build round shit out of square lumber, and there was nothing technical to learn anymore. I was doing the engineers' jobs half the time and calling them on bullshit when they were fucking up. I had the engineer's number on speed dial, and he knew who it was when I called him. Not because I'm great or grand, but I understood what the codes were, what the tolerances were, what shit could handle weight-wise, and what it needed to handle. I threw myself at that job. I learned everything I could. These right here, I mean, those are my gifts. If I can get my hands on it, if I can take it apart, I can put it back together as good or better than before. I'm blessed there. I'll get off on a tangent of faith another day, but I'm not of what you would call a contemporary faith. So I'll probably get jeers from folks over that one, but I don't care. Faith's important. I don't care what faith you come from. Have faith in something more than just you. But I got into remodeling houses. There's a historic district here. I went through several. There's a couple of historical districts in Des Moines proper, and went through a lot of those. You know, again, $1 million homes and some really world-class architects designing some of these homes 100 years ago plus. Flipping houses for investors. I mean, I went through it all. Trim carpentry, building, you know, custom built-ins for people. And that was my existence for almost 15 years. In 2008, everything came apart. I went back to school formally for a business education and industrial welding. Automotive welding sheet metal is real easy to sort out after you've welded, you know, 1/4 and 3-inch plate to industrial standards. I've got little piece of paper saying I'm competent with oxygen acetylene, MIG, and TIG. I haven't picked up a TIG machine yet, but I will, because that's an amazing art in and of itself. When that went south, the space I had for my construction company leased out, I started turning wrenches. It went good. I moved into a bigger facility. That following year, I went through a divorce and all kinds of hokey shit. I mean, I really hit about rock bottom. I was going into 2010, I was homeless, walked away from my shop because I just couldn't do it no more. Got myself into trouble. I don't drive right now because of that. Decided that wasn't exactly the best outlet for my grief. Landed here. You know, here a guy is, and if this is anything for anybody, I'm not special, I'm not particularly gifted in anything. I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, let me tell you. But I get by. I try to be well read. And I went and actually procured the property I live on, have my shop on. I didn't have a job. I was failing out of college at 35, going through a divorce, dealing with pretty much everything you could sort out, homeless, living with my mommy again, and God bless my mommy because she's an amazing, crazy mick of a woman. But my mom helped prop me up and get me back on my feet and push me forward. But I worked out a deal for this property. I'm buying where I live, where I work. I'm buying it without a job, without money coming in, without a means of transportation, without anything. And it's tough. I get behind and then I get caught back up, and as soon as I get caught back up, I'm behind again. And it's just, that's how it is first few years of anything. But just know, like I said, I'm not anything special. I'm no better or no worse than any other person out there. It's just what I've done with what I have to work with. That's going to make the difference. And you know, you guys, if you want it, go out and take it. Nobody's going to give it to you. There's sure in hell not going to be someone, you know, show up at your door with $1 million check. Just go fucking take it. Go do it. If you want to do something, do it. Do it now, because tomorrow, who knows? Is it going to be here? And I don't know, there's just too little a time to worry about what other people are thinking of you, what you're doing. An old carpenter once told me, and I've lived by this since, you know, don't ever belittle someone. And this was in a statement about a repair on a property that we were dealing with, and it was really bad work from some handyman carpenter. He's like, you know, don't beat up someone on how poor their repair is. You know, you got to remember the simple fact: nobody nowhere likes to fail. Nobody wants defeat. Nobody likes the taste of defeat. Everybody everywhere is a general rule, and there's exceptions to it, of course. There's just fuck-ups out there. But everybody everywhere, to the general rule, are doing the best they can with what they have. And until you've dealt with those same exact circumstances and situations, shut the fuck up. You're doing the best you can with what you got. And I do the best I can with what I've got. I know not all of my repairs are well, none of them are technically subpar, but they're not to the height and standard I wish to prevail. But I get by and make the customer happy. Their shit doesn't fall apart. Really, you know, I guess it's just that. I wanted to holler at BW Darren and Greg and fell up there at Procrastinator Garage. Gosh, there's another gentleman, and I'm trying to remember his name up there on YouTube. He hollered out at me the other day, and I understand he's dealing with some life circumstances that, you know, a lot of his adventures in life are from watching YouTube, and I think that's fantastic. And I hope to hear from more of you folks. Chime in, holler at me, tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, or tell me you know, things are looking great, or tell me whatever. You know, don't placate me. I don't really give a shit. If you got bad news, that's fine. I've dealt with haters before, and I've found through other social media, the bigger the hater, the better the press. There's no such thing as bad press. So let people think the way they want. It's America. And I'm not gonna, you know, I will defend your right to say exactly how you feel, whether or not I agree with it. That's pretty much my basis in existence. You guys have a great day. You have a great week. I'll see you soon.